Your friend and mentor, Tony Hawk, says the stuff that comes easily to him is stuff that took me years to develop, and that's his warm-up.
Right on.
What do you think of that?
That's an honor. I mean, Tony's a great guy. He's one of those guys that extremely talented, super nice, and really presentable. I mean, he's one of those people that, I mean, when he was around, he was going through all of the things that I was just about to go through. And what an amazing thing for me at the time to watch someone, like, his video game had just come out, he'd landed his big trick, you know, skateboarding and everything was like just on the rise, and it was really blowing up again. And he was getting approached by so many people, and all these things were going on. I was just, it's not so much that he kind of like told me like what to do or kind of took me under his wing in a way, but it was more like he was just there for me to like observe.
And at a really early age, too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, very early. I mean, I was on tour with those guys when I was like 13 or so, and you know, it was amazing. It was one of the best times ever. They had a big bus and they're traveling around, and the fact that they brought me in, I felt like, you know, like very accepted, very part of that culture and that group, and it really led me to becoming pro in skating later on.
So you're at the top of your profession in two sports, skateboarding and snowboarding. How does one sport help the other?
What's funny you ask, because normally people would consider the sports exactly the same, but they're not. I mean, snowboards are twice the size. You know, you're dealing with edges and snow conditions and all these different things. You know, to truly do both sports, I'm literally the only guy that competes in both events. In both sports. But I feel like my snowboarding helps my skateboarding because of the size of things. You know what I mean? I'm doing such big airs in the half pipe snowboarding that once I get on the vert ramp, it doesn't seem that big to me. It's not as intimidating. So a lot of the points and scores that I get from my skateboard, you know, the judges, is because I'm doing everything so high up in the air, and it's exciting, more difficult. Okay. But I get that from snowboarding and that kind of like focus. But definitely the ability to like control my body and to know, you know, because skateboarding is so much more technical. You're not strapped in. You know, your board could just fly away at any moment, and you have to catch it, bring it back, like do all these different things. I'm flipping my body while flipping the board. And so it's so much going on at once, you know, during any various trick, but it's that kind of coordination. I think the balance is what really helps my snowboarding. Because once I get to the snow, I'm like, oh, this is so simple. All I gotta do is just spin myself. I don't gotta worry, that's gonna stay there. I don't gotta worry about it flying away.
But you said the transition, I mean, when you go from one season to the other can be kind of painful at times, because you almost have to, relearn many of the tricks that you've known for a while?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's like...
And I mean, that's really the case? Like, you actually have to teach yourself how to do some of it again?
Yeah, I do, every single time. It's awful. I've gotten better to where I can learn faster. I catch up a lot faster nowadays, but there's those first, like, you know, couple months or so where it's just awful. I try to skate in private. Going to snowboarding is pretty easy for me, but going from snowboarding to skating is extremely hard. Like, there's like a feeling you get that you have through your shoes where you know your board is under you, and you kind of lose that when you're not on it that often. And it's just awkward. Like, my stance on a snowboard is extremely wide, and then on my skateboard it's very small, and you're in shoes instead of big boots and stuff. And so, and there's so many little kids that they're really good. They're amazing, and they're at the skate park, and I'm just terrified to go like skate with them. You know what I mean? They're like, stick to snowboarding. You know, they're like, you know, and they're just joking around, but it's like that scenario of like, I know I'm good at the sport, it just takes me a while to get back into it. So it's this very shameful process, like getting to that point.
Would you, I know they're completely different seasons, but would you do one week and one another week, or do you really have to have, you know, a starting point and a stopping point for each one because it's a decent kind of shift?
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, I could always skate and then go to snowboarding, like I was saying.
But not the other way around.
I could never snowboard and then just jump on a skateboard. Okay. It just wouldn't work out.
Got it.
But I can honestly say that if it wasn't for skateboarding, I would not be snowboarding still. I would have quit a while ago, I think.